Okay, let's dive in. Today, we're looking at cortisol, the hormone everyone calls the stress hormone, and specifically the simple blood test that measures it. Our guide for this comes from Blood Test UK, and they've got some really helpful local info, particularly for places like Northwich and Cheshire. So our goal here is simple. Why is knowing your cortisol level actually useful? What's the real benefit for your health?
Well, cortisol is fundamental, really. Think of it as your body's built-in manager for stress. It gets you ready to handle challenges.
Yeah.
But yeah, having too much or conversely too little, that's where problems start.
So the test is basically checking if that manager is doing its job properly. Is that the idea?
Precisely, yeah. Doctors use this test to look for big imbalances. These often link back to your adrenal glands, the little guys that make cortisol. So if your levels are consistently low, it might signal something like Addison disease. You'd feel, super tired, weak muscles.
Okay. And the other side?
Yeah.
Too high.
Right. If levels stay high for a long time, that could point towards Cushing syndrome. And that's often more serious things like high blood pressure, weaker bones. Your immune system takes a hit. So as Blood Test UK points out, this test is really key for understanding how well your adrenal glands are functioning overall.
That makes sense. It's definitely more than just, am I stressed out today? And speaking of practicalities, the guide we looked at really stressed the convenience factor, especially for people in, say, Northwich.
Oh, absolutely. That local access piece is huge. Think about it. If you're not feeling well, maybe dealing with ongoing symptoms, the last thing you need is hassle getting a test done.
Right.
So knowing that Blood Test UK highlights local places maybe like Northwich Infirmary or Vale Royal Hospital, the guide mentions places like that, or even Block-End Health Center makes it much easier.
Yeah, less of a barrier. It means you're more likely to actually go and get that baseline check done instead of just, putting it off.
Exactly. It bridges the gap between noticing something's wrong and actually getting the data you need to act on it.
Okay, so let's say that convenience gets you tested. What are the two biggest health wins from doing this cortisol test?
Good question. I'd say the first massive advantage is early finding, early detection. We mentioned Cushing's earlier. If you have that, chronic high cortisol literally changes your body. You can weaken bones, mess with your metabolism. Catching it early before all that damage really sets in, that means treatment can start quickly. It can genuinely improve your quality of life, maybe even prevent serious long-term issues.
Okay, early finding makes sense. What's the second big advantage?
The second one is getting custom plans, tailored advice. See, the test doesn't just say yes disease or no disease. It gives your doctor a snapshot. Let's say they rule out Cushing's, but your cortisol is still high.
Right.
Then they know it's more likely lifestyle stuff, chronic stress, maybe poor sleep, diet, and that lets them give you really specific advice. The Blood Test UK guide, for instance, mentions things like recommending foods rich in vitamin C or omega-3s. These can help support your body's own regulation systems.
So it moves beyond just eat healthy, sleep more.
Exactly. It becomes targeted, actionable things based on your specific results.
But that snapshot has to be accurate.
Right.
The guide was pretty clear about preparation being important, like why test in the morning specifically.
Yes. That's crucial because of how cortisol works naturally. It follows a rhythm, what we call a diurnal rhythm. Levels are naturally highest right when you wake up. That's what helps get you going.
Okay.
Then they gradually drop throughout the day, usually lowest around midnight. So to get a meaningful baseline, doctors need to catch that peak morning level. If you test later, the results will be lower just because it's the time of day, and that could hide a real problem.
Got it. Timing is key for the baseline. What about avoiding exercise beforehand? Why does that matter?
Because exercise is a form of physical stress. A good stress, usually, but still stress. Your body responds instantly by releasing more cortisol. So if you, say, go for a run and then head straight for the blood draw, your levels will be artificially high because of the exertion. That's not your true resting baseline. And the doctor needs that resting level to see if your adrenal function is normal. So yeah, testing in the morning, avoiding intense physical or emotional stress right before Blood Test UK highlights this. It's non-negotiable for getting accurate results.
That really clarifies why those details aren't just minor suggestions, they're essential. So the bottom line seems to be, this simple blood test gives you powerful information. It helps you understand how your body is managing stress so you can take more control of your health. Right, before we wrap up, here's something to think about. We know cortisol is highest in the morning and lowest at night, ideally. And chronic stress can flatten that curve, keeping levels high when they should be low. So, What extra insights might you gain about your stress resilience if you measured your cortisol not just in the morning, but maybe again later in the day? What could comparing those 2 points tell you?